Okay. Hello. Ground control to Major Tom. All right, I think this is gonna work now, and I know I've said that already, but I got the thing after all that. Now it has connected to the 5G miraculously. For over an hour, I was restarting and trying again, and finally it's on. Last round I was trying the cellular data, and that seemed to work fine, and then it disconnected. So now it is running on our rock solid 5G network here at the old Adobe Hacienda in Hamul. And I have very high hopes that this is going to work for the rest of the evening. So, apologies again for being so darn late in this process, but I just feel compelled to move on and get through this for tonight. So, here we go. We are on the third song of the Slow Jam on this night, which is December 19th, Monday. And the song was Valley of Peace. So let me just, I don't know how much of that got cut off when I was kind of coaching everyone through the song. So I'm going to start again with Valley of Peace. Here is the chorus, and this is how the song begins. And this is how we're going to play our breaks and our kickoff. So it goes like this. 1, 2, it's in 3/4 time. 3, 4. 1 and 1 and 4 and 1. 5, 5 and 5. And 1 and 1 and 4 and 4. 5 and 5 and 1. The verses are just 1, 4, 5. Pretty easy to follow. That chorus is, I'm just going to kind of get this into your head by singing the chorus one time. Peace, peaceful valley of peace, where no sorrows are known. Like heaven, it's heaven to me, it seems. Peaceful valley, my home. And a kickoff would go something like 3, 4. Okay. So those of you who are ready and who are still with me, you are so patient. God bless you. Let's go ahead and play Valley of Peace. And you're going to kick us off in the key of G. And I'll count 4 whole measures to count you in. 1, 2, 3, go. Peace, peaceful valley of peace, where no sorrows are known. Like heaven, it's heaven to me, it seems. Peaceful valley, my home. There's an old broken lock on the old cabin door. There's cracks in the boards of the old cabin floor. It's a tumble down shack, and I long to go back and dwell in that home evermore. Peace, peaceful valley of peace, where no sorrows are known. Like heaven, it's heaven to me, it seems. Peaceful valley, my home. I got it. Through an old broken window, a light shining bright. It sparkles and twinkles through the honeysuckle vines, and an old rustic well in my sweet little Nell. And for me, I know how she pines. Peace, peaceful valley of peace, where no sorrows are known. Like heaven, it's heaven to me, it seems. Peaceful valley, my home. Play it. In the parlor, a fire is burning so bright. The old rocking chair is empty tonight. That tumble-down shack is a palace to me, and that's where I'm longing to be. Peace, peaceful valley of peace, where no sorrows are known. Like heaven, it's heaven to me, it seems. Peaceful valley, my home. Okay, there we go. We're moving now. How's everyone doing? Do I still have anybody with me tonight? Okay, hello. The Bowdens are here. Sandy is still with me in Facebook land. YouTube land looking like a ghost town, but we might have some folks jumping in there. And those of you expecting to find the mid-tempo jam right now, or the fast jam, we're still on the slow jam because I had some glitches with the equipment. So we're moving through the slow jam, and next we have Billy in the Lowground. Good old fiddle tune. So I'm gonna kick this tempo back to a good tempo for that one. Okay, Billy in the Lowground in C. It goes 1 and a 1 and a 1 and a 1 and a 6 minor, 6 minor, 1 and a 1 and a 1 and a 1, 6 minor, 5 and a 1 again, 1 and a 1 and a 1 and a 1, 6 minor, da 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 da, 1 and a 1 and a 1 and a 1, 6 minor and a 5 and a 1, da 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 da, 4 and 4, 4 and 4 and 1 and 1, 1 and a 1 and 6 minor, 5 and a 1, 1 and 1 and 1 and a 1 and 4 and 4, 4 and a 4 and 1 and 1, 1 and a 1 and a 6 minor and 5 and a 1. Okay. So this being an instrumental, I'm going to kick it off, and let's play it 2 times through. So me all the way through, and then you all the way through, then me again, and then you again, and then you go ahead and tag it at the end. So here we go. I'll kick us off on Billy in the Lowground. Okay, that was Porky Deer. Here's Billy in the Lowground in C. We're jamming now. Moving right along here in the slow jam, we've got When You Are Lonely in the key of D, a good old Bill Monroe song. Someday, Sweetheart, When You're Lonely is what we sing. The title of it is When You Are Lonely. And we're going to be in the key of D. I'm going to be capoed on the 2nd fret, playing this out of C position, because I can do a cool cross-picking kind of thing with it. This one goes 1 and 1 and a 1, 1 and 1 and a 5, 1 and 1 and a 1, and 5 and a 5 and a 1 to the 4, 4 and 4 and a 1, 1 and 1. that's how I might kick it off. So why don't you go ahead and kick us off here on When You Are Lonely in the key of D. A 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. I'm thinking of you, little darling, on the day that we first met, and those words, sweetheart, that you told me, I swore I would never forget. Oh, someday, sweetheart, when you're lonely remember the heart you have broken, and the one that has loved you so true. I got it. You told me that you always would love me, and no one would ever come between. But it seems to me that you've forgotten all those things you told to me. Oh, someday, sweetheart, when you're lonely remember the heart you have broken, and the one that has loved you so true. Play it. I'll forget all those things that you told me, and try to start my life anew. But remember the heart you have broken, and the one that has loved you so true. Oh, someday, sweetheart, when you're lonely remember the heart you have broken, and the one that has loved you so true. That song is an example of Aristotelian rhetoric in a song, which is the introduction, the body, and the conclusion. And my English teacher taught that as tell them what you're going to tell them, and tell them what you told them. And that's what Bill Monroe does in that song. He pretty much tells you the same thing in every verse. A very basic song, but a very cool and fun song. When You Are Lonely. Okay, Midnight on the Stormy Deep. Now, I don't know. I think we've done this on the jam before. But of course, it's got lots of verses and it's a duet throughout. And the verses go in couplets. So there's basically 3 sections of double verses. So there's room for 2 breaks in there. And it goes and 1 and 5 and 1 and a 1 and a 1 and a 4 and back to 1 and a 5 back to 1. That's the whole thing. In the key of E, of course. I think I mentioned that. So a kickoff that I might do would be something like that. And this is it's a slower number. Naturally. The stormy deep, my solitaire. Seems about right. So, and just because it's been a while, I got a cheat sheet, make sure I go with the verses in order. And hopefully you tenor singers will be singing tenor throughout. So go ahead and kick us off all the way through the song form one time here in the key of E. A 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Was midnight on the stormy deep, my solitary watch I keep, and to think of her I left behind, and ask if she'd be true and kind. I never shall forget the day that I was forced to go away in silence. There my head she'd rest and pressed me to her loving breast. I'll play. Oh, Willie, don't go back to sea. There's other girls as good as me, but none can love you true as I. Pray don't go where the bullets fly. The deep, deep sea and I may be some other's bride, but still my thoughts will sometimes stray to thee when thou art far away. love, so false as thine. Let's do the last verse again without the click. 1, 2, 3. So fare thee well, I'd rather make my home upon some icy lake, where the southern sun refused to shine, than to trust a love so false as thine. You kind of have to end it with the retard, and there's no way to do that with the click track on. So there you go. We gave it another little go on the ending there. Okay, are you still with me? I'm glad we are doing this, even though we're so late in the evening with the technical difficulties we were having. But here we go. We're moving on to the last couple songs of the Slow Jam. Right after this, I'm going to restart the stream and we'll get right back into the mid-tempo jam. Now that I got the thing working on the 5G network, I'm expecting it to just be solid for the rest of the night. And somewhere a little GoPro gremlin is just laughing at me, and I'm glad you couldn't hear me cussing while I was trying to make the silly thing work. So, Rebecca in the Key of B, written by Herschel Sizemore, and this is probably his most famous mandolin tune. It's become quite standard. So let me find a tempo. We're going to be moving up a little bit in tempos here as we approach the mid-tempo jam. But this is still pretty darn slow for this tune, so this should be in everybody's comfort zone. Okay, so Rebecca goes. In the key of B. So every time you go to that 4 chord on the end, it happens for 3 beats. So there's kind of like just a 1 extra beat kind of thing every time around. That for me is always easier just to feel it out than to count it. Most of you who play this tune, like, it's locked in there pretty good. If you're still learning the tune, just keep playing it and singing it in your head, and it'll all make perfect sense. So for now, I'm going to kick us off. And we'll play it twice through. So I'll do taters and I'll kick it off, and we'll play me once through, then you again once through, and then me again and you again. So two times through, back and forth, and doesn't need a tag. Here we go, Rebecca. So I know often that has a stop on the 5 chord. I was sitting there playing this with Herschel Sizemore, and everyone did the stop, and he shook his head. He says, no stops. He doesn't like the stops. So I never played it with stops again after that. Okay, last song of the Slow Jam, Leavin' in the key of B. Let me just do, before we get there, let me just do a quick check-in with everybody. Okay, hi Sandy, hi the Bowdens, hi Jesse Davis, hi Kathy Bartman. Thank you all so much for sticking it out with me through the technical challenges tonight. And hello on YouTube land to Dodger Martin, John Anderson, Toasted Gralic, playing fiddle with us. Okay. Thanks, everybody. So here we go, Leavin'. And right after this, I'm going to shut it down, just grab another quick cup of tea and start the mid-tempo jam, right away. It'll just probably be a few minutes there that we're offline. So come on back while you're good and warmed up, and let's do some mid-tempo tunes. So here we go. Leavin' is 1 and a 1 and 1 and a 4. 5 and 5 and 5 and 1. 1 and 1 and 1 and a 4. 5 and 5 and 5 and a 1. My kickoff might be something like... something like that, but not quite that fast. Let's see where we're at. We're still in the slow jam, but we're moving up to mid-tempo, so let's say right about here, which is still nice and slow for this song, written by Jack Tottle and made famous by James King. Leavin', kick us off in the key of B. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. like never before. You ran Okay, thank you so much, everyone. And I'm gonna come back, and we're an hour behind, so it's not really that bad. But again, sorry for all that. And we'll be right back here in a couple minutes with the mid-tempo jam. Thank you so much. I will see you then.